Hello everybody. So, this video that you're watching is kind of like a non-chronological art film in that there's three segments and I recorded all of them at different times. Today is October 22nd. The next segment you'll see is from October 5th and the final one is from September. So, essentially, my cat Aji is dead. We put her down today. It's now 1:38 p.m. We put her down at, let's say, 11:15, so a little over 2 hours ago. And yeah, the other two parts of this video are recorded, before she was dead, obviously. And the experience was really not as bad as I thought it would be. I'd been thinking about this moment for like literal years, and especially like over the last few weeks. And I've got to say, like, last few weeks have been really bad. And today is maybe the best day of the last few weeks, even though the experience today was truly awful. I mean, if you've ever euthanized a pet, you know what I'm talking about. I sounded really weird there. But yeah, it was awful, but not as awful as I was expecting. So basically, my dad picked me up. We went in the car with my cat in a crate, in a cat crate. And the crate was on my lap when I was in the car in the passenger seat, right? And the whole time we were going to the vet, I was like petting her, and she was a little bit sedated. But she was still like responding to me petting her, so that was lovely. And we got there. We had to wait for a little bit. There was actually a power outage at the entire block where my vet was, so we had to wait like quite a bit. And yeah, they took our cat for a little bit. They took IG for a little bit outside. Well, not outside, but you know. They like put some sedative in her or something. I don't know what they did. They like wrapped some bandage, or they had to wrap some bandage around her front two paws, and they put a catheter in her arm. And apparently, I was confused because I thought that catheter was just for bladder, but catheter is just to inject any fluids, I guess. So yeah, and then they brought her back on a towel and they put her like on a table, and they were like, take as much time as you like with the cat, and then press this button, and then we'll come back and euthanize her. And yeah, me and my dad kind of stood there for like 5 minutes, petting the cat. We had already done all of our like saying goodbyes type of thing, like in the car and stuff. And yeah, when I was in the car, I like talked to my cat a little bit, like in private, and that was nice. And she doesn't speak English, but that was nice to do anyway. And yeah, then we pressed the button to. Oh, also, one more thing is that this cat was a feisty cat. The vet described her as feisty, as spicy, even. So like she was on the table with a towel and she was sedated, but she jumped off the table like very clumsily and like was like walking around, which I did not expect. That's hilarious. Is a nice parting gift to us, shall I say? And that was really funny. That really warmed my heart, and I'm glad that she did that because that's so her. She had a great personality, as you'll see in the rest of this video, right? As I talk about. And then yeah, they injected her with two things. It's like lethal injection for humans in like prisons when they're like sent to death row or whatever. The first one was a sedative to put her to dreamland, is what the vet said euphemistically, and then the second one actually killed her. So, yeah, she kind of like stuck her tongue out after the first one, and then after the second one, she like stopped breathing. So, I mean, we all know what that means, right? But yeah, it wasn't all that bad in the moment. I mean, obviously it was terrible, right? Like, I don't even have to say it. But it wasn't, like, the end of the world, you know? was much worse these last couple weeks, and um, it was interesting to like see her stop breathing because I know like these last couple weeks when she was sick, like I would always check her breathing, so that was interesting, I guess. I remember I was holding her head for a little bit, and then when she died, um, like obviously she stopped holding her head up, and she had this fang kind of poking out a little bit, and it actually like poked into my hand a bit because I was holding her head up from the bottom, and yeah, and after she died, like the vet was talking to us and stuff, and the vet was like still petting the cat like around the stomach, and after a while I was like, out of curiosity, what are you doing? Because she was kind of petting her weirdly, so I thought that she was like checking for something in her organs, and she was like, no, I'm just petting the cat, and I was like, okay, fair enough. And yeah, we didn't really have that much to say to each other. Me, my dad, and the vet. Either that or I wasn't paying attention because I was thinking about the cat. The vet said something really weird, like, "Oh, she's in heaven now," which I thought was like really weird. Probably some people like really care about that type of stuff, but like I don't believe in cat heaven, so that came off as kind of inappropriate. It was really weird. No shade to the vet, obviously. Like I can't imagine that her job's easy, especially like dealing with grieving people. That's gotta fucking suck, right? And yeah, then me and my dad kind of hugged it out, and then we left without the cat. I tossed the empty cat crate in the back of the car, and yeah, it really wasn't that bad. Today, I mean, overall, it was really bad, but um, I can't tell if it's better or worse that there's like nothing to be done at all now that she's completely dead. Um, I really didn't like the whole dilemma with like giving her medicines because all the medicines, every single one of them, had a side effect. Like some of them would sedate her, some of them would increase. Like she had a heart murmur, so some of them would make it worse. Like I think it was a steroid that we never ended up actually putting her on. That would have made her eat. These last few days, she wasn't eating. Some of them would make her kidney disease worse. The kidney disease is ultimately like what ended up killing her. I mean, we ended up killing her, but you know, we ended up bringing her close to death. And so yeah, I'm glad that that whole like trade-offs thing is over. Um, we actually brought her in for like blood work on last Friday, and today is Tuesday. And last Friday they did blood work, and they were like, that was like, yeah, her kidney numbers are not doing well at all. And my dad was actually ready to put her down right then and there, and so was I actually. But I was like, she's because I was with her when when we were in the car together, and I was like, she doesn't seem to be suffering all that much. She wasn't eating recently, but I was like, if she starts eating again, we can totally keep her alive for another week. And my argument was like, yeah, it's rough for all of us, but there's a chance that we could have another week of the cat, and that the cat could have another week to live. So why not? And I managed to negotiate my dad up to that, and like, I mean, I didn't want to. It was totally for the cat. Emotionally, like purely emotionally, I wish that we had put her down like 2 weeks ago, because it's been really rough, and I think it would have been like the whole time I was thinking, and I this might make me seem like a bad person. I don't really care. The whole time I was thinking this would be so much easier on us if she just died, so I could like finish, so I actually could let go, because I was ready to, and like obviously like this whole thing isn't about us, it's about the cat, which is why ultimately I managed to negotiate keeping her alive, not just like from Friday but before as well. And before that ended up being a really good decision because, as I said in this video that you're watching and the next part of it, she ended up being more or less back to her old self, and that was amazing, and I had a great time, and I'm so glad that I was able to experience that. uh, But this time, in retrospect, it wasn't a good decision. I mean, it was a good decision. It just didn't pay off, basically, because she wasn't eating before, and then she continued to not eat, and she wasn't doing well. So it was like, okay, I betted on her. I betted on her getting a little bit better and eating and having a decent quality of life for the next week. Uh, and but it just didn't end up happening. And yeah, that's the thing with taking risks and making bets and stuff, is that like sometimes they don't work out, right? So I don't really regret it. I mean, I ended up causing me, my dad, and the cat more pain and suffering for ultimately what was no reason, but I don't regret it. And yeah, final thoughts, final things that I did not mention in the other two parts of this video. Um, yeah, that cat was like my emotional support cat. Um, I promised her that I would be better, and I'm glad that she was around to see that promise be fulfilled. And then she died. So I'm happy about that. She was 17. I'm satisfied with the outcome in general. And rest of this video, maybe you don't want to stick around, which is fine. The rest of this video is going to be like this emotional, sentimental, just like train wreck. So if you don't want to see that, that's totally fine. I don't even know why I'm uploading this to anywhere. Yeah, I have no idea. It's not for sympathy, I'll promise you that, because not only do I not need sympathy of anyone, I mean, from some people it's nice to have, right? But not from strangers. I don't want it, because, like, you guys didn't know my cat like I did. And you don't know, like, me like I do, so your sympathies would probably be a little bit empty. I'm just guessing, though. What the hell do I know? Alright, on with the video. Thanks for watching. Hello everybody. So I recorded this video that you're watching on, I believe, September 20th, and I have a couple updates. For one, my cat Aji, right here, gorgeous, has been actually doing a lot better. I mean, she's still gonna die really soon, but she's survived a lot longer than I really expected. I think I recorded the video on the Saturday, and we were thinking of putting her down on like Monday, but she's been doing really well. Again, she's still gonna die, but... And additionally, it seems she's been acting more or less like her old self that I remember from before I went to Turkey. And she's been really cuddly, really playful, meowing a lot. Again, really cuddly, really active. It looks like she's been feeling a lot better too. So, my feelings on the situation have changed, obviously. I recorded this video like 2 weeks ago, and I've got to say that overall, I'm really happy with this outcome. I mean, like, she's 17, obviously cats can't live forever, but in terms of just how it's been, I feel like this is kind of the best case scenario. And I'm feeling really good about it, and I'm feeling really good in general, I've got to say. And, you know, like, my personal life's been going really good. I've been having a lot of fun, and yeah. But I am going to still post this video. Well, obviously, right? I'm still gonna leave it up, obviously, right? Kind of as documentation for myself and like how I was feeling back then. And also, maybe it'll be interesting to some of you. It's certainly interesting to me, interesting enough that I could leave it up. So watch if you want to, and thanks for watching. Also, I know that the audio for this segment really sucks, and also the camera angle of me is not all that flattering, but I didn't want to do another take, because look at this cat. Isn't she pretty? Come on. Oh, look at her paw. That's so cute. Oh my god. Yeah, this angle of me is not the best, but fuck it. You guys want to see the other cat? The really ugly, disgusting one? Check this out. Hey there, Freak Show Pumpkin. Oh, wow. She doesn't have a nose. She doesn't have a nose. She looks like a space alien. Oh, God. Wow, that angle's really bad. I mean, you can't really have a good angle on this creature, but still. Oh, oh pumpkin. Oh. Look at that. Oh, pumpkin. Oh my God. Can you hear her purring? She sounds like a lawnmower. Oh, my dad's here. She's running to the door. Hello everybody. So this video is going to be unstructured shit. I'm gonna have to edit it a lot. My cat is dying. My cat, the gray cat, Aji, she showed up in a few of my other videos. She's dying of lung cancer. She has kidney failure, UTI, slight blindness. She's 17 years old. She's dying of being 17 years old. And I just wanted to talk about my feelings on this. Maybe if you guys have had a pet die, or maybe if you haven't, maybe if you're a pet owner, maybe if you're not, you'll find this interesting. So as I said, this video is going to be kind of out of order, I guess. I'm just gonna talk about topics as they pop into my head. I've thought about these before. I'm not gonna edit them to be in any kind of coherent order. So, she's had cancer, lung cancer, for a while now. Over a year, we think. The vet a year ago found something like inconclusive on her lung in an x-ray or an MRI or some shit. But turns out that's lung cancer. So my dad found out that Aji is like close to death. Like, let's call it a week ago. Today's September 20th, so a week ago would be September 13th, which was a few days before I came back to the US, and that checks out. So I knew when I came back to the US, let's call it September 15th or maybe 16th, and I've got to say, one thing that really sucks, I mean, all of this really sucks, right? But one thing that really sucks is that pretty much the whole summer I was in Turkey, which was 2.5 months, a while. Pretty much the whole time, on and off, not like every single day. I was thinking, oh, I can't wait to get back, and I was thinking, I can't wait to get back and pet my cat, to pet Aji, and the thing that really sucks, I mean, everything really sucks, but one of the things that really sucks is that I get back and, like, she's, like, sedated by painkillers and stuff. And, like, she's also presumably in a lot of pain, or maybe not. I don't know. That's what the painkillers are for, right? But she's kind of sedated a little bit. She's, like, walking slower. She's having, like, trouble jumping onto tables and stuff. We do this thing where we throw around treats for the cats to get. I have 2 cats, the other one's Pumpkin. We throw around treats for them to get, and we call it cat bowling. And she's been bowling kind of slower. Still better than Pumpkin though, because Aji's been always really good at bowling. So yeah, she's been sleeping a lot. She's been sleeping in my closet, off screen over there. I can actually show you. Like right there in that closet, you can kind of see it. right there, right beyond where my finger is. That's Ivy right there. And yeah, she's been sleeping a lot. It's been nice that she's in my closet though, because I get to see her a lot. She's obviously not as responsive to being pet as she used to be. She doesn't really like to be touched always. I mean, my cat wants to be touched all the time, right? But less than usual, I guess. She was always a really cuddly cat. Before I went to Turkey, she would like jump on my lap or jump on my desk when I was at the computer and like cuddle up to me or something. A lot of the times when I was going to sleep in that bed, she would actually come and jump up on the bed and cuddle with me. And a lot of the time she would actually sit like on my chest, like right here. Let me stand up to show you. Like she would sit like her butt like here and her face like here, and I would like pet her like that. And a lot of the time she would also do that like right when I woke up. And obviously like now that I gotten back from Turkey, she's not doing that, which is fine. I mean, the important thing is her, right? Like whatever she wants is the important thing. If she doesn't want to come and cuddle with me, that's very okay with me. I'm not the one who's gonna die in a few days. I'm just kind of annoyed that I didn't get to experience my cat in full effect because I was waiting for it the whole summer and because she's gonna die now. But I do remember, and that's the important thing. We don't always get what we want when we want, but with Aji I did get what I want, right? With Aji I did get what I want, because Aji is, and always was, and I guess is about to be the best cat in the world. The best cat ever, actually. The best pet ever. If you have a pet that you think is better than Aji, you're wrong. She was always the best, and I did get what I want from her, I guess. I mean, she's 17 years old, right? She's known me longer than I've known me. I'm 20 now. She's always been around, and I've gotta say, like, some of you know this about me, some of you don't. When I was, like, younger, like a teenager, it was called, like, 14 to 17 or something. Like, I was really depressed around those times, and obviously I've had some, like, bad times as well, before and after that. And I remember when I was, like, depressed and when I was, like, crying in my room, this room, Aji would, like, literally come up to me and cuddle with me, and I would cry into her fur. And I remember, like, the feeling of wet cat fur always made me feel a little bit better. Aji always made me feel a little bit better. And yeah, I remember a couple of times when I was, like, cat sitting, like, when my dad's out of town, and I'm, like, in charge of the apartment all alone for, like, a month or two or something. Sometimes, like, I had class, like, I go to college, so I had class or something, and one or two times, I actually, like, I had my alarm go off, and then I slept through my alarm, and I was gonna miss class, but my cat actually woke me, and I think maybe one of those times was even, like, for a midterm, and Aji came, like, woke me by, like, meowing. She was like, she has the prettiest meow ever, too. She's been meowing less now as well, which is a real shame, but she would, like, come up to the bed and she would be like, meow, meow, like, wake up, asshole, you got a midterm or a class to go to or something. And, like, I would have totally slept through those if not for her. And she doesn't really, like, she never really woke me, like, in the mornings to be fed or anything. Like, sometimes when I was cat sitting, she would let me sleep through, like, all the way to, like, the afternoon, because sometimes I would sleep in, like, really late, and I like, I'm supposed to feed them in the morning, and I like do feed them, and they know when they're supposed to be fed, right? Like when I'll go into like the living room or the kitchen or something around their feeding time, they know that they're about to be fed. Especially Pumpkin, the ugly one. She annoys me basically whenever I'm in the kitchen. Funny thing happened a few days ago is like we fed Pumpkin, and then we were feeding Aji a little bit more too, because Aji hasn't been eating much, and like Pumpkin asked for more food as well, and I'm like, dude, you literally just ate 2 seconds ago. What are you talking about? And yeah, but I think the point I was making was that Aji never really annoyed me except when I was about to sleep through my what's it called? Sleep through my classes, and she knew to wake me, which I don't know how she knew. I'm not gonna pretend that she knows what like what my university is or what time my classes are, or that I was gonna sleep through them. But it's just a funny story, I guess. I don't know what the point of the story is. Yeah, I remember another time when I was cat sitting alone. I had some cardboard, and when I was younger, I used to like kind of craft stuff. I have this like Nerf gun that I modded. I spray painted it. I added in like a foam magazine onto it to make it look cool and stuff. So I remember when I was cat sitting alone, once in the living room, I made this construction out of cardboard and like tape and staples and stuff, and I made it look really nice. And there was like a compartment off to the side which had like a blanket for the cat to sleep on, and I put a sign out front, taped the sign to it, and the sign read Catzel Ig. It's like castle, but it's like cat, so it's Catzel Ig. And I remember she would hang out around there, but of course she's a cat, right? So cats hang out in the wildest of spaces. If you think you're gonna set up a space for them to hang out in, you're probably wrong. But she did hang out in Catzel Ig a lot, and that was a lot of fun. I remember during the pandemic, I had high school during the pandemic, online remote classes, and IG would often be on my desk, like next to my computer, and she would often be on my desk next to my computer so I could pet her while I was in class. And the computer was also warm when I was taking my classes, so often she would like sit like on the left side of my computer and just slowly encroach onto my keyboard until I was like, Aji, what the fuck? I have to be in class, what are you doing? And she would like be on half the keyboard, and I would have to like shove her off the way, and she would be annoying. She would be annoyed. Well, annoying, but she would be annoyed when I would shove her off my computer, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to take a class right now. And yeah, it always kind of annoyed me, but not really. I always thought it was cute. And I think once, I'm not entirely sure if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think once, like, I had my class, and I have my computer, my desktop, my camera's over there, actually. My laptop's right here, lower down. But I'm not looking at notes, by the way. I didn't take any notes for this. But once I was in class, and I had my laptop cover kind of like this, right? Because if I shut it all the way, well, it was more like this. It wasn't like this. That part doesn't fucking matter at all. So I had it kind of bent, and that was because like if I shut the lid, it just turns off my laptop, right? It's one of my settings. And I had my camera off, and I was making myself a coffee or something in the kitchen, and like my bullshit with class was happening or whatever. I didn't need to be there, and I knew it, and the teacher knew it too, and we all had our cameras off, including me. And my cat was sleeping like on my computer, and she turned the fucking camera on. Because like the keybind for Zoom to turn your camera on is Alt-V, so I guess IG must have turned the camera on, and I came back to my horror, the camera was on, and the room obviously was empty because I wasn't in it. I was making coffee, and I came back with my coffee, and my camera was on, and I was like horrified. And nobody said anything. But I was like, oh, IG. And yeah, IG meowed a lot, I guess. Even now, now that she's like lethargic and drugged and shit. Like sometimes when she sees me, she'll meow at me, and like when I pet her, sometimes she'll go like "murr," which she always did. Like when I was cat sitting, especially in that room, which is some of my older videos on like veganism and stuff are shot in like a different setting, and that's that room right there, and the living room. And often, she, like when I was in that room just like hanging out or whatever, she would be like "murr, murr, murr, murr," just trying to get my attention because my IG likes attention. Not now, obviously, but you know. And that was to like go cat bowling or play with the string or whatever. And one of the things that's always been on my mind, because like I always knew that she was gonna die, right? I mean, when I was depressed, like this is another thing as well. Like I never thought that I was gonna outlive her. So, and I guess this might be a thing that happens to a lot of you pet owners, where you just kind of can't conceptualize it. But like I legitimately didn't think that I was gonna outlive her, and I had good reasons for it. And I also didn't think I was gonna reach 20. So now it's like past my 20th birthday by like almost a month. It just feels really weird. It feels like I'm not supposed to be at this point in my life. It just feels kind of wrong that IG should die before me. So I always knew that she was gonna die. Especially as she got older. I mean, she's fucking 17 years old now. It's like ancient. But especially when she got into like 15 or 16, she started like slowing down. As animals do, cats and dogs. But she slowed down in a graceful way. IG always aged like a fine wine. You know? She always kept her grace. She still has her grace now. But the point I'm trying to make is that I always knew that she was gonna die, so I guess I kind of got part of my grieving in beforehand. I thought about her dying like before she was ever like terminally ill, and maybe that softens the blow for me now that I know that she's like about to die in like legitimately a few days. Which another thing is like, how lucky am I that I got to come home and see my cat before she died, because I was in Turkey for a while, so I guess I should consider myself lucky. But one of the things that always haunted me is that like Achi's always been good to me. No complaints, right? I already talked about some of the ways that she's been good to me. Not all of them. I couldn't tell you all of them. I couldn't even tell you half of them if you gave me a year on camera, unbroken. But I always wondered, am I being good to her back? And I always appreciated her. I always pet her and took care of her pretty much every day for as long as I can remember. Every day I saw that cat. I mean, I like worshipped that cat pretty much. That's barely an exaggeration. And I always treated her as if it was her last day of being alive, and it feels weird now that it might be, like today. And I still wondered if I was being good enough to her, because she's an indoor cat. She's been an indoor cat ever since her brother got eaten by a coyote when we were young. And I always wondered what it would be like to be an indoor cat, especially like one who's kind of seen sort of the outdoors. And she was a street cat, a rescue before we got her. We got her when she was 3 years old, right? Or maybe a little older than that. I don't remember. I mean, it wasn't when she was 3 years old. It was when I was 3 years old, is what I was trying to say, even though that's probably not true. But I always wondered what it's like to be an indoor cat. Because, like, this apartment isn't tiny, right? It's not like some shoebox in New York. But in, like, the grand scheme of things, like, in all the areas that I've gone in my life, or even, like, literally today, yeah, I've been outside today. All the places I've been, like, imagine having your whole existence being confined to just this apartment. But the thing also is, like, because you're a cat, you're a small creature. I mean, not Aji. Aji's a ginormous cat. She's a large beast. But if you're a small creature, like, there's more places you can go into. There's more stuff to explore. The apartment has a whole dimension that we as humans, I'm like, I don't know, 5'8". That I actually don't know. It's been a while since but that we as humans just straight up can't see. The apartment has a whole dimension that we as humans can't see, just as our world has a whole dimension that they can't see. So I wonder what it would be like to have. It seems kind of boring and repetitive, right? Like, to a human. I don't know what life is like as a cat. I always wished I could, like, talk to IG to see what she's thinking. But yeah, I wonder if it's like boring hell that I've subjected my dear perfect cat to for 17 fucking years. Or if it's just like fine and it's like this apartment's a playground to her and she gets to lie in the sun and be pet and we have like a balcony. And I don't know, but one of the things that I regret, and I don't have a lot of regrets when it comes to this cat because I always treated her well as I can imagine right now. There's probably a better way to treat her, but I don't know what it is. And also sometimes we like took her to the lobby of the apartment or something, and she was kind of like freaked out by going to the apartment and like the vet. So maybe she prefers it being in here. I don't know. I feel like even if I could see in her head, that's like a question for a philosopher and not some dumb shit like me. But one of the things I regretted was that, like, when I was cat sitting for her, I never, like, I played with the cats, like, with a string. I played Kill the String, which they enjoy, but, like, I never really enjoyed it. And because of that, I didn't really do it that frequently or that long. And the same thing goes for bowling as well. I like bowling. Cat bowling for me is fun, but I was never able to do it as well as my dad did, and because of that, it kind of frustrated me, and I didn't really like doing it that much. But it just bored the hell out of me, like playing with the cats, like Kill the String. And to be fair, they're not like the easiest cats to play with, but I don't know. I don't know if I can even say that I regret it, because it's like I go back in time and I'm supposed to like force myself to enjoy it, and I was aware of this at the time as well. And I tried to force myself to enjoy it, and I just didn't. And I guess I wish I forced myself to do it more frequently, because like that's a large part of the fun that the cats get, and I can go outside wherever I want, and like I'm not even playing with the cats. Like, what kind of fucking monster am I? I guess the point of this section was that, like, the cat's been good to me. I wonder how good I've been back to the cat. Right? Like, and yeah, another thing is, like, I kind of touched on this, but she was always my emotional support cat, right? And obviously, I'm kind of joking, but I'm also mostly not. Like, when I was depressed, like, I don't know what I would have done without the cat, to be honest. Without Audrey. Audrey's always had a lot of personality. She's like, you need to be careful when you pet her. You need to treat her the way that she wants to be treated. She doesn't like go along with everything you do. She's Miss Personality, and she's the sweetest, greatest thing on the planet Earth. And yeah, she was my emotional support cat. I don't know what I would have done without her, and I don't know what I'm gonna do without her. Well, that's wrong, because there's nothing to do. I just have to carry on, right? It's not like I have to find like some secret sequence to keep on living now, right? I just keep on living. That's just life. I just carry on without my cat. She also has like super soft fur, and like I pet a lot of cats in Turkey, and Angie is super soft fur. She's got this really, really pretty voice. She's really cuddly. She's just really pretty, and she's got like a perfectly pretty face, prettiest cat on the planet, and she has these really pretty green eyes, and like her fur is like from a distance, like maybe someone who's uncultured could be like, oh, she's just this gray raggedy cat, but like her fur's got gray, a little bit of black. Her fur's got orange in it. Her brother was orange, and yeah, her eyes are green with like all these colors in them. It's so beautiful. She's got really pretty eyes. And another thing too is like, and I guess this is the thing that's most important, but the thing that I have the least amount of answers to is like, okay, she's in some pain. We don't know how much she's in. We're giving her painkillers. We don't know how much they're working. Like, at what point do we just put her down, right? And the thing is with me, like, I'm the type of person, like, I would rather be in, like, quite a high amount of suffering than be put down if it was just me. But that's my preference, right? What am I to kind of impose that on Naji, right? What if she's in a lot of pain and like, and we're kind of torturing her by letting it go on? And cats especially have this problem where they don't really show you how much pain they're in, but they do show you in other ways, right? I mean, like, we know she's in pain because we've had to put her in fucking painkillers, but today, we've never seen this before. She was laying in her litter box, and that was just so rough to see. Because it's like, alright, something's wrong. And I looked this up, and apparently, like, cats who are anxious or stressed or something, it's like their place of comfort. So they go and lay down in their litter box. So I wonder if, because, like, there's nothing in this apartment that would be, like, stressing her out. So the only other thing is, like, she's in pain, or she knows she's gonna die, which is a real possibility. And I've been wondering that too. Like, obviously she can't see the x-ray or the MRI, and she can't see this growth that's on her lung. She doesn't know what a UTI is. She doesn't know what kidneys are. But I wonder if she knows she's gonna die, and if she does, like, what she thinks about that. Another thing is, yesterday, today's the 20th, so yesterday, September the 19th, I was playing chess with my dad, and we were playing over-the-table chess, like, with a chessboard. And midway through, Aji, jumped on the table with the chess pieces, and we were like, hey, Aji, don't do that. Don't knock over the chess pieces, we're playing chess. And she actually came and sat down on my lap. You could not believe how happy I was, because she had a really good day yesterday. She was meowing a little bit, and she was kind of cuddly. But when she sat down on my lap, I mean, I'm always happy when a cat sits on my lap, right? You'd have to be a sociopath to not be happy in that situation. But, like, I'd waited the whole summer for something like that. And, like, that was also kind of proof to me that, like, she wanted to be pet. Like, she wanted to be touched. Like, me petting her wasn't, like, hurting her, because I don't know what her organs are feeling like right now. And it just felt great. And, like, I'm really grateful that I got to experience that before she died. Just one last time. Now I guess we just wait. Um, when I came to the U.S., I thought that we were told that I was told by my dad that she had like a few weeks, maybe a few months. But now, like 4 or 5 days later, like she has days to live, if that. Like her sitting in the litter box was really not a good sign. Her laying down in the litter box. And yeah, it's not looking good. So, it's a really weird feeling just being here with my cat, knowing that she's gonna die very, very, very soon. It's even weirder because, like, yeah, you can think of it as days, but I think of it more as hours. Like, if she has 4 days to live, that's 96 hours. That's not that much. I've been recording this video for half of an hour, and so I mean multiply that by 96 times 2, and at the end of that, she's gonna be dead. And also, like, because we don't know how bad her condition is at all. Like, we don't know when she's gonna die, and that's not good. Like, she's sitting there in my closet. Every second that she's not in my line of sight, I wonder if she's still alive. I don't know. It's really stressed me out for the past 37 minutes that I've been recording that I don't know if she's alive or not right now. It's probably not healthy to be thinking like that, but I don't really care. Because I have this really limited amount of time with her, really limited. I've not really been going out. I mean, like, I went hiking with my dad a couple days ago. I've still been going to the gym, and going to the gym has not been fun for me. I mean, typically I love it. Typically I feel like a kid in a candy store. But, like, I've just been in this really foul mood. And I've still been going, but I've been forcing myself to go. And when I've been going, it's, like, I've been feeling, like, really bad about it. Like, I've had bad days in the gym before. Like, I've cried in the gym before, just because I've been, like, thinking about stuff in my own head. But it's different when it's in real life, right? Like, I'll admit, it's a million times better, like, what I'm feeling right now than what I was feeling when I was, like, really depressed. And it feels a lot better to be sad about something that's happening in real life than something that's just happening inside your own head, I've got to say. But going to the gym like this has been just this really horrible feeling, and I haven't even been able to stay for that long. Like, yesterday I did, like, bench press, overhead press, and then I was like, I just have to go home, and I did like 10 sets total. But I was like, I can't be here any longer. I just feel like hell. And yeah, I haven't really been going outside that long because I want to spend as much time as I can with my cat. And me and my dad were thinking about maybe going on, like, some mini vacation for like 3 or 4 days before school starts, and I was like, no, I want my cat. And I have, like, this club at my college, and there's this fair happening on Tuesday of next week. And the preparations of that, we were gonna meet on Sunday, which is, I don't know, tomorrow, or it's the day after tomorrow. And we were gonna meet on Sunday and, like, get together some poster boards and stuff. And I was really excited for that, and I was excited to see, like, my people from that club. I actually really missed them over the summer. But I had to say no to that because I want my cat.